Good morning, everyone. I told you I'd show you the Christmas tree that I have. And here it is. It's a tree trunk. Upside down. These are the roots. Isn't that cool? Look at this, you guys. On the trunk, I have pictures of my grandchildren and family. But here, isn't that wonderful? And all the ornaments, either my children, my grandchildren, friends from town, or I made, including this little dude, of which I also grew that gourd. Well, anyway, so there. I don't know if you guys saw anything or not on that. I guess we'll find out when I'm done. I hope it wasn't just the ceiling. Oh, I made a fire today. Now I'm sweating. But I made a fire today, and it's cold out there, 20 degrees. I forgot my tea. Let's go get my tea, you guys. I've got the dog's breakfast cooking. Yeah, it's the guts, the giblets and stuff from the turkey. They won't eat it raw. I don't know what's wrong with them dogs. Go after my chickens, but they won't eat that. My chickens probably taste better than that store-bought stuff. All right, but I cook it, cut it up, put it in their other food. Fine. And then, as I was making the fire, there's all kinds of wood out there from when they're working in the kitchen. And I found this. So I'm going to cut this part off because I don't need it. And I'm going to make a frame for this picture, which my mom sent me from Switzerland last year. See that? There's Mary and baby Jesus. And I'm going to cut this part off and then cut this to fit in here. And I think I'm going to stain this. Actually, my brother-in-law has this wax. It's furniture wax, and has a stain. Furniture, it's a stain, dark stain, wax. I think that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to put that in here. And then I'll stand that next to my Christmas tree. Cool, huh? Yeah. Still working on the nativity scene idea. I didn't like the ones. No, the last one that I had that I really liked, I gave away to someone. Well, anyway. So, I've been without one now. Oh, you know, it's in my heart. Good enough too, right? Yeah. But I like that kind of stuff. Ooh, nice tea. I made me tea this morning. Then I found, I'm going to make my youngest one. Yes, that's it. I'm going to make a little set of blocks I found, yeah. And I'm just going to sand those down really fine. They don't need, it's better not to have paint and stuff on it anyway, in case you chews on it or something, right? Yes, so, but just so she can grab something. That's what children like to do. It doesn't have to cost a lot. They won't know how much you paid for it. Well, I'm not paying anything for it, right? But it's all different types of blocks. And then when she gets older, she can, right? Yes? I might make her a little set of animals or something to go with it. Then she can build a little barnyard with it. Oh, and then I find pieces like this, which they, you know, when they run their machines stuff, it's really thin. See, that would make a nice frame on something. Don't know yet. Oh, though I have a Christmas ornament, a picture of my other granddaughter, and I thought, I'll frame her in this. Well, anyway, all kinds of other things that I'm going, ooh, I'm going to save that and use them. And yes, I actually do use them. when I get to it. All right, let's get started. Oh. There's another thing yesterday came to my mind. How to just live with faith, right? Yes, live with faith. Every day, all day, 24/7, right? Take it all everywhere with you as well. And something came to my mind about that. I tell you what, there's nothing that irks me more than when I realize that, wow, you're one way in church and you're another way. Yeah, right. Anywho. So, I thought, how could one... People often ask me for advice and things like that, right? Okay, sometimes they don't ask for advice and I give it anyway. Most of the time they ask me. And I thought, I'm going to start having this with me in my pocket when I go out. Right here, of course, I have to have it in the pocket. Just keep... And also use it myself. So yesterday, I came across a situation. I thought, I wonder if I could, if instead of just drawing from my own experiences and all that, and then give to people the advice, how about first, right? Okay, what would God's guidance be? Well, we found that already, and I think it's a bit comical in a way, okay? But I thought I'm only going to use the Psalms and the Proverbs. And where are some of these, a lot of them coming from and gets the credit for it? Is Solomon, right? Yes? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have to get to know Solomon a little bit. So, not just in this way, right? Not really liking that. Okay, so we're going to get to, right, Proverbs and Psalms as well. So I memorized from 503 in this little, right, it's the New Testament with the Psalms and Proverbs, which they're not in the New Testament, right? All right. They're from 503 to 599. So I kind of did that yesterday myself. Said, okay, I'm going to choose for this particular little bit of conflict, you know, I need a little guidance, right, from God. See what, what is it that am I going to be supported in it, or do I need to take a step back and look at my own actions? So I chose one. I just chose between 503 and 599. I chose a page. I opened it up. The whole thing was about stay steadfast in your faith. Only if you do that will you be victorious. I'm going, oh, perfect. That's exactly what I needed to hear, right? I mean, needed to hear. It amazes me on how many people want to stop people of faith. Okay? On the side of goodness now, all right? Amazes me on how people of faith are timid, embarrassed about their faith. Is that why it just stays in church? Well, in any case, I'm taking this with me from now on. And if something comes up, say, okay, choose a... People do it with tarot cards. Why can't I do it with the Bible? No, parts of it anyway. Choose a page between 503 and 599. Or is it 699? Oh, I think it's 699, not 599. Let me see the last one. 669. Man, I must have not had my glasses on yesterday when I looked. I thought it said 699. It's 669. 503 to 669. All right, like it matters. Anywho, so, and then I'll say, okay, let's read this together and then see how it applies to what you're asking for. Then we've gotten God's guidance. to begin with, right? Yes? And then see how it can be applied. I think this is a wonderful exercise, right? Yes? Of course, I'm not going to push it on people. But I think that'll be great. Oh, I got to get this started here. I got to go to the barn today. I'm home alone. I'm all alone. Oh, and I love it. All right, so. Oh, yeah, that means I can walk around the house, talk to myself, talk to whoever's here. No one else can see. Okay, all right. I can have the music on that I love. And, well, don't everybody love Christmas music? I guess. But I could listen to it 24/7 for a whole month. All right. Or other music that I like that, well, it's probably a little outdated for most people, you know, but not me. So, right? Oh, I'm so conscientious when other people are here. Well, I am, right? Yes? So when I'm here all by myself, yes. And the dogs are out for a run. I hope they're going to come home all right. Well, anyway, it is what it is, but these guys just itch every day to go out. So, I'm here alone. Nobody stopped me. Oh, I got to get up one more time. Sorry. The meats are cooking. Yeah, I hear ya. I thought you were down low enough. I thought it was down low enough not to do that, but I guess it did anyway. Alrighty, so let's get started here. In the first book of Kings, and we're on 8. Oh, one more thing. So I went and looked it up. The temple that Solomon built for God. I was asked, are there any pictures? Is there anything still standing? Any kind of more records? And the only records about that temple, and I believe even his palace, the temple for sure, is only in the Bible. There's nothing else. And there's nothing left. Now, how was that temple built? And there isn't a rock, one of them stones left. Nothing. All that good wood. How it was all protected in gold. Gold doesn't just disappear now, does it? Like wood, for example, wood. Even rocks can kind of, but not gold. There's nothing. Absolutely not. Didn't find anything. Oh, there was plenty talking about it, but it's all what we already read. That's all they know. But that there is any kind of evidence that that temple ever existed, actually, none. There isn't. Now, I could be wrong. If you guys know better, let me know. With Solomon's house in Lebanon, they call it the house in Lebanon, right? I mean, it must have been a palace, right? All right, I didn't go further and check that out, but I saw, while I was looking all that up. So, did you know Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines? What kind of house do you got to have? A house? How many palaces did he build? Only the one? 13 years. I don't know. Where did he house him otherwise? The King David's palace. Well, King David had a lot of women too, so I guess that was already pretty set up. I didn't go and check how many kids he had. Well, people can hardly afford 2 these days. This guy could afford how many at that time? Who paid for all that? Well, we know who paid for it all. I don't even. How could that guy have had any time to govern his people, seems to me he was way too busy otherwise. I don't know. That's it. Getting to know you. Maybe more to all them stories. I don't know. Okay. Might not be true at all. Somebody made it up. So in any case, that house, that palace, there are some stones and stuff, supposedly, that there is some evidence there that there was some big old buildings standing there or something. I don't know. But not much. And it's not much. I don't know. I have no idea. Don't know. Okay. But as I said, gold doesn't just disappear. It could be melted down again, right? Yeah, I don't know. Did somebody dismantle that whole temple? Sounded pretty, I don't know. Let's just keep reading. All right, so we're in 8. The ark is brought into the temple. Okay, now we're back to the temple. See, this is very confusing. Solomon then summoned the elders of Israel to Jerusalem to bring the ark of the covenant of Yahweh up from the city of David, that is Zion. All the men. I thought the city of David was Jerusalem. Now it's Zion. Okay, I don't know. Ugh. All the men of Israel assembled around King Solomon in the month of Ethanim at the time of the feast, that is the 7th month. Oh, they're still doing that. Oh, that's good to know. See, we haven't heard of that in a long time. When all the elders of Israel had arrived, the priests took up the ark and the tent of meeting and all the sacred utensils which were in the tent. King Solomon and all Israel... I'm smelling something. I gotta check that fire really quick. It's like it's popping something else out besides just the fire smell. Yep, gotta open you up a bit, huh? There. I mean, it's not smoking in here. Stove got really hot a minute ago. I mean, really hot. That whole back pipe was glowing. I'm going, you just have to close it all down. Takes 10 seconds. It's all fine. All right. Okay, so let's see. Where are we here? The priests, wait. King Solomon and all Israel present with him before the ark sacrificed countless, innumerable sheep and oxen. The priests brought the ark of the covenant of Yahweh to its place in the debir of the temple, that is, in the Holy of Holies, under the wings of the winged creatures, for the winged creatures spread their wings over the place where the ark stood, forming a canopy over the ark and its shafts. These were so long, however, that the ends of the shafts could be seen from the holy place in front of the debir, though they could not be seen from outside. They are still there today. There's nothing there left anymore, they said on Google. There was nothing in the ark except the 2 stone tablets which Moses had placed in it at Horeb, the tablets of the covenant which Yahweh made with the Israelites when they came out of Egypt. Okay, now let me go check on something. Well, that's too bad. If you guys remember, they traced the gradual decline of the monarchy from the splendor of Solomon until the final destruction. Yeah, okay. I wanted to see, 721 before Christ. Let's see. All right, so this all happened around that time. But when was this put in here? Because at that time, well, anyway, it just does not seem possible to actually get anyway. I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's just confusing. Yahweh takes possession of his temple. Alrighty. Father, how did you like that? Now when the priests came out of the holy place, the cloud filled the temple of Yahweh. And because of the cloud, the priests could not stay and perform their duties. For the glory of Yahweh filled the temple of Yahweh. Then Solomon said, Yahweh has chosen to dwell in thick cloud. I have built you a princely dwelling, a residence for you forever. Okay, I don't know if this is the translation. I have built you a princely dwelling. Solomon is a king. He's building God a princely. Like for a prince? I know what it means, but anyway, I find this. Also, this part, Yahweh takes possession of the temple, is this big, with lots of spaces in between and all, this big, okay? Now, if that happened, where God suddenly fills the temple with his presence, would you not think that that would be explained and described in every detail? When I share experiences I have from spirit world, I could talk about them all day long on how this all happened and this. Try to shorten it down so people don't get what, right? And here, one little thing of one of the most, in my opinion, most important parts here, when he came to, did God accept the temple? Did he like the temple? If one was ever even built. All right, we're not sure. Do you know what I mean? One little section. Like, oh, let's put that in there and tell the people, yeah, God was good with it. God was good with it. Hey, man, he even chased us out. He was so happy with it. Wanted to be alone in there. Right? Yeah? Okay, come on now. Really? Okay. People will believe it. I mean, us, again, oh, but you know, I'm just saying, how described is everything? Everything is described in super detail, right? When it suits them. But then, this part where there were all these people there and these priests and Solomon, maybe there's some in Proverbs and Psalms, right? Which ones was it? The Proverbs that he was a part of it or something, right? Maybe there's more in it in there. So let's wait and see, right? Yes, let's not jump the gun here. All right. Let's see first. All right. Yeah. Solomon addresses the people. The king then turned around and blessed the whole assembly of Israel. While the whole assembly of Israel stood, he said, Blessed be Yahweh, God of Israel, who has carried out by his hand what he promised with his mouth to my father David when he said, From the day I brought my people Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city in any of the tribes of Israel to have a temple built where my name should be. But I did choose David to rule my people Israel. That's not true. The people chose their kings. God said, don't do it. The other thing here, too, I find it interesting on how slowly, somehow, the language is changing here to, he said, blessed be Yahweh, God of Israel. Who gives out the blessings? To whom? Okay, just saying. I find this weird. That's just, it's odd. Well, anyway, my father David had set his heart on building a temple for the name of Yahweh, God of Israel. But Yahweh said to my father David, you have set your heart on building a temple for my name, and in this you have done well. And yet you are not the man to build the temple, but your son, yet to be born to you, will be the one to build the temple for my name. Yeah, okay. Or we could say, David made a promise, right? Kind of, okay, what do you want to... And then realized, I don't have the money. I don't have the... Remember, he's all said, all them kids and them women and the big old place to take care of. And since there had been so many wars and all that, my feeling is there just wasn't enough resources at that time, okay, that David, and not enough resources and not enough money, to pay for it all, right? Yes? Maybe not even enough men. I have no idea. So, well, Solomon, right? So it's going to be one of the sons. Well, anyway, there you go. Whatever. One could also say, beware when parents send you on your way with their debt, right? That's not right. I would never do that to my children. Well, anywho, they're just different, I guess, than I am. And God even tells him, so supposedly God told him, I don't believe that. Okay, whatever. And Yahweh has kept the promise which he made. I have succeeded my father David and am seated on the throne of Israel. What promise is that? That was just a succession of... What does that have to do with God's promise? As Yahweh promised, I have built the temple for the name of Yahweh, God of Israel. And in it I made a place for the ark containing the covenant of Yahweh, which he made with our ancestors when he brought them out of Egypt. So, interestingly enough, now I'll go for the importance of the beginning of God's people with Moses and Aaron coming out of Egypt, and then the ark that they built there. But what is the importance of it? The Ten Commandments, the stone tablets, right? So they were still there. That was the only thing in there. So the one thing that I could see, if there could be just found some evidence of that temple, that God would have been okay, said, yeah, build something so that's safe. And that stays safe. For the people to remember, right? Yeah, people forget so easily, right? And then it goes down from generation to generation. So I could see that would be something that God would favor, not to live in it himself, that's silly, but to have that really somewhere safe, protected. Yeah, we know the Ark of the Covenant got lost too, right? Yes? I mean, not just, but I mean, it's gone. Nobody knows where it is, if it ever existed as well. I find this really weird. Oh, wait. But the destruction happens. Okay. Solomon's prayer for himself. Then in the presence of the whole assembly, Solomon's prayer for himself. Then in the presence of the whole assembly of Israel, Solomon stood facing the altar of Yahweh, and stretching out his hands towards heaven, said, Yahweh, God of Israel, there's no God like you in heaven above or on earth beneath. Oh, interesting. as loyal to the covenant and faithful in love to your servants as long as they walk wholeheartedly in your way. You have kept the promise you made to your servant my father David, as you promised him you would. Today you have carried it out by your power. And now, Yahweh, God of Israel, keep the promise which you made to your servant David when you said, you will never lack for a man to sit before me on the throne of Israel, provided that your sons are careful how to behave, walking before me as you yourself have done. So now, God of Israel, let the words come true which you spoke to your servant my father David. Yet will God really live with human beings on earth? Hey, wait a minute. What is he questioning here? Why the heavens, the highest of the heavens, cannot contain you, but a temple can. Okay, right. How much less this temple built by me? All right, okay, he got that. Even so, listen favorably to the prayer and entreaty of your servant, Yahweh, my God. Listen to the cry and to the prayer which your servant makes to you today. Day and night may your eyes watch over this temple, over this place of which you have said, my name will be there. Listen to the prayer which your servant offers in this place. Don't know. Solomon's prayer for the people. Listen to the entreaty of your servant and of your people Israel. Whenever they pray in this place, listen from the place where you reside in heaven, and when you hear, forgive. If someone, he's telling God what to do. I find that interesting. Hey, he's the king. I'm telling you, you have positions like that. I've said this before. Power and greed will start to take over. You'll forget who you are. Should be. He's telling God what to do here. If someone has wronged his neighbor and a curse is laid on him to make him swear an oath here before your altar in this temple, then listen from the place where you reside in heaven and do justice between your servants, condemning the guilty one by making him suffer for his conduct and acquitting the upright by rewarding him as his uprightness deserves. Wait a second. Where are all the instructions that God gave to the Israelites? Right? Also, while the Ark of the Covenant was with Moses and Aaron and all that, he gave instructions on how to deal with that. Here, now Solomon says, the people are going to come to your temple, and since I built this for you, you deal with them. Are you guys getting this? This is like, what? Free will. God's not going to interfere with the free will of the people. It's not going to happen. It's never happened and it will never happen. Okay? And Solomon's telling him, so yeah, you punish the ones, that are guilty, and reward the ones that aren't. Okay, I got it. But what is Solomon doing here? He said, well, built you that temple. Now you're in my employ. I'm just saying. When your people, Israel, are defeated by the enemy because they have sinned against you, but then return to you and acknowledge your name and pray and seek your favors in this temple, then listen from the place where you reside in heaven, forgive the sin of your people, Israel, bring them back to the country which you gave to their ancestors. Wait a second, I thought it was all peaceful. Solomon's already been in power, right? A king for what? At least 10 years. 11 years at that time. 11, 12 years, right? 7 years for the temples. He started building it when he was four years into being a king. What's he doing here? Are you guys getting this? If they hesitate, so Solomon's not planning to keep peace. And, of course, he's going to, the punishment for the people of Israel is, well, you guys are still not doing what you're supposed to do. So I'm going to come and get everything that you got. This is what it sounds like to me. That's a classic. That's a classic of what kings and queens and emperors and empresses and who knows who they are do. Very classic. And this is supposed to be a prayer, people. Okay. When the heavens are shut and there's no rain because they have sinned against you, if they pray in this place and praise your name, and having been humbled by you, desist from their sin. How about, well, if you know that could happen, just don't sin. What if actually nobody sinned and it's still not raining? Then what? Well, I've got to find someone who's done something, right? Yes? This is ridiculous. He knows it too. If he was that wise, oh, come on, that intelligent and smart, come on. Then listen from the place where you reside in heaven and forgive the sin of your servant and your people Israel. Not just, I can't, Knowing now that he had I don't know if it was 700 wives and 300 concubines. I read that last night and it cracked me up. I couldn't. Nah. How does that work? I have no idea. For you are constantly showing them the good way which they must follow, and send rain on your country which you have given to your people of their heritage. Well, if God promised, everything will be just hunky-dory and, lush and rich, and then why would it not rain? Why is he talking about it not raining? Huh? Yes. Well, he's asking us, and now you fulfill your promise, right? I would say if everything... Okay, you know what? Not going there. Are people, when they read this, kind of going, is that? I don't think that's how it works. All right. Should there be famine in the country or pestilence? In a way, Solomon doesn't believe, right? He doesn't believe. If he believes in God's promise, if that actually happened, God says, no, you're going to be fine. Everybody will be fine. Right? Then why is he praying like this? And it seems like the temple's just there for when people sin. Right? You go there and go, oh, I'm sorry. Right? Yes, that ought to. Should be a place of just happiness and get-togethers. Yes. Or pestilence, wind blast, or mildew, locust, or caterpillar, should their enemy lay siege to one of their gates, should there be any plague or any disease, whatever be the prayer or entreaty of any individual aware of a particular affliction, when that person stretches out the hands towards this temple, then listen from heaven where you reside. Oh, that reminds me of something. What do they do? The Muslims? Don't they, when they pray, in the direction of what? Mecca? Sounds familiar, huh? Okay, just saying. Oh. Then listen from heaven where you reside. Forgive, and since you know what is in the heart, deal with each as their conduct deserves. For you alone know what is in every human heart, so that they may reverence you throughout their lives in the country which you gave to our ancestors. There's more. This is a really long one. Supplementary section. Oh. Even the foreigner, not belonging to your people Israel, but coming from a distant country, attracted by your name. Oh, he's still praying. The supplementary section now. For they too will hear of your name, of your mighty hand and outstretched arm. If a foreigner comes and prays in this temple, listen from heaven where you reside, and grant all that the foreigner asks of you, so that all the peoples of the earth may acknowledge your name, and like your people Israel revere you, and know that this temple which I have built bears your name. He's still praying, guys. Did you hear that? revere you, and know that this temple, which I have built, bears your name. If your people go out to war against the enemy on whatever missions you sent them, and they pray to Yahweh, turning towards the city which you have chosen, and towards the temple which I have built for your name, then listen from heaven to their prayer and their entreaty, and uphold their cause. He's telling God what to do, absolutely. When they sin against you, for there is no one who does not sin. Oh, let's be clear about that. And you and you are angry with them and abandon them to the enemy, and their captors carry them off to a hostile country, be it far away or near, if they come to their senses in the country to which they have been taken as captives, and repent and entreat you in the country of their captors, saying, we have sinned, we have acted perversely and wickedly, and turn back to you with all their heart and soul in the country of the enemies who have taken them captive, and prayed to you, turning towards the country which you gave to their ancestors, towards the city which you have chosen, and towards the temple which I have built for your name, listen to their prayer and their entreaty from the place where you reside in heaven. Uphold their case. Forgive your people for having sinned against you, and for all the crimes against you of which they have been guilty, and allow them to arouse the pity of their captors, so that these may have pity on them. For they are your people and your heritage, whom you brought out of Egypt, that iron foundry. All righty. He was good with words. Just not sure if I would talk to God like that. Okay. Conclusion of the prayer and blessing of the people. I guess you could call it a blessing. I have no idea. May your eyes be open in the entreaty of your servant and the entreaty of your people, Israel, to listen to them, whatever they ask of you. For you it was who set them apart from all the people of the earth to be your heritage, as you declared through your servant Moses, when you brought our ancestors out of Egypt, Lord Yahweh. Yet he's married to Pharaoh's daughter. If you guys remember, God gave very clear instructions on why not to mingle with other tribes outside of the tribes of Israel. All right. When Solomon had finished offering to Yahweh this whole prayer and entreaty, he rose from where he was kneeling with hands stretched out towards heaven before the altar of Yahweh, and stood upright. And in a loud voice he blessed the whole assembly of Israel. Blessed be Yahweh, he said, who has granted rest to his people Israel, keeping all his promises. You know, I wonder, right? Often you see Jesus with his hands stretched out. Yeah? I wonder if that actually came from Solomon. Yes? I'm not sure. Did Jesus ever actually do that? I guess we'll know when we go to the New Testament. But the way this was just said, I'm going, I wonder if actually Solomon did that, not Jesus. Right? Standing there with his hands outstretched, all this and that. Well, priests do that, right? Catholic priests, they pray like that too. Yes? Yeah. I don't know. I've prayed like that. I've tried it out. Okay, interesting. I'm just noticing stuff like that, right? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, is that where that started? Oh, okay. Blessed be Yahweh, he said, who has granted rest to... Oh, wait. When Solomon had finished offering to... Wait. And stood upright, and in a loud voice he blessed the whole assembly of Israel. Blessed be Yahweh, he said, who has granted rest to his people Israel. Yet he just prayed if there's... Okay, whatever.
keeping all his promises. Of all the promises of good that he made through his servant Moses, not one has failed. What he's talking about here now. May Yahweh our God be with us, as he was with our ancestors. May he never desert us or cast us off. May he turn our hearts towards him, so that we may follow all his ways and keep the commandments and laws and ordinances which he gave to our ancestors. I have to give one thing to Solomon. At least he's mentioning all this stuff. Right? Yes? Anyway, 700 wives and 300 concubines. Nah. May these words of mine, of my entreaty before Yahweh, be present with Yahweh our God day and night, that he may uphold the cause of his servant and the cause of Israel his people, as each day requires, so all the peoples of the earth may come to know that Yahweh is God indeed, and that there is no other. May your hearts be holy with Yahweh our God, following his laws and keeping his commandments, as at this present day. Well, that's good. I can't say anything. That's exactly what. Yeah, good reminder. The sacrifices at the feast of dedication. The king and all Israel with him offered sacrifice before Yahweh. Solomon offered a communion sacrifice of 22,000 oxen, 22,000 oxen, and 120,000 sheep to Yahweh. Man, God was hungry. Okay. And thus the king and all the Israelites dedicated the temple of Yahweh. On the same day, the king consecrated the middle part of the court in front of the temple of Yahweh, for that was where he presented the burnt offerings, oblations, and fatty parts of the communion sacrifices. Since the bronze altar which stood before Yahweh was too small to hold the burnt offering, oblation, and the fatty parts of the communion sacrifice. And then Solomon and with him all Israel, from the pass of Hamath to the torrent of Egypt, a great assembly celebrated the feast before Yahweh our God for 7 days. So that was that. So I could see 22,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep. 7 days, all them people there. Okay. Surely they didn't just waste out all that. No, the fatty parts, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Wow. I wonder if there's any, man, that was a big old, right? Is that only recorded in the Bible? I mean, that's a big old party, right? Yes? Okay. I don't know. I could go and check it out again. On the 8th day he dismissed the people, who bade farewell to the king, and went home joyful and happy of heart over all the goodness which Yahweh had shown to his servant and his people Israel. I find it interesting, too, on how the king is always separate from the people. Well, anyway, it is as it is. I don't know it all. I talked about that. Wow, that was a long one. It is as it is. I think I said enough. I got to go to the barn. Take care of them critters over there. Let them out. It's cold. It's sunny though. Nice. Anywho, so there it is. 8. Oh, what was the title of that again? The ark is brought into the temple. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all I have to say this morning. Interesting. Yep. I think I said it all beforehand already. I have to get going. And I'm going to make potato leek soup today with bacon in it. Yes, I am. That's one of my favorites. One of my brother-in-law's favorites. I like it very much too. And that's what I'm going to make today. Again, I made it about a week ago, I think. Maybe not. Yeah. A couple of weeks ago. Who cares? And I'm going to make it today again. Yep. Yes. Yum, yum, yum. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you, and I will talk to y'all another time.